Hi, I'm Chris Kepler, and welcome to Does This Happen to You? I'm an actor, voice actor, audiobook narrator, and writer. I love reading, pondering, and sharing humorous stories about the freakish things that happen in everyday life. That's why this podcast features funny stories from fantastic writers about our daily aberrations, a micro audiobook about life and befuddlement just for you. Hey, they say it's a man's world. So what does that mean for the rest of us? I wanted to take a minute to tell you about a new podcast series that is answering that question. From authors and politicians to athletes and activists, the Story of Woman podcast features interviews with those who explore our world through the female gaze. And they've just launched a new season looking at change and how women make it happen. Every episode, the host, Anna Steckline, speaks with women at the top of their industries who are leading social and cultural change. I'm most excited for the first episode, which features a first-time ever exclusive joint interview with Hillary Clinton and Cherie Blair, a leading international human rights lawyer and wife of the former British Prime Minister. I'd say these women know a thing or two about driving change. The season also features a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Afghanistan's youngest ever female mayor, a co-creator of the Black Lives Matter movement, an indigenous environmentalist from Chad, and more. For real change to happen, we need to hear more of women's voices. Be sure to subscribe to The Story of Woman wherever you get your podcasts. Our story this week is from Andrew Knott, who you'll find on Medium.com. And here is How to Fill the Space When Children Grow Up and Artificial Intelligence Takes Over. I drove up to our local park one morning recently when my kids were all at school. This park, with the playground tucked away in the back corner by the lake, is where I spent countless hours with my children, in what is slowly but surely starting to feel like a different lifetime. When I pulled into an angled parking space facing the grassy area beside the playground, I saw a small boy, probably around 3 years old, hustling along behind a mom who was walking briskly a few paces ahead of him, a slightly vacant expression on her face. The boy was carrying a well-worn teddy bear. The bear dangled down from his hand, bouncing against the boy's little body with each of his steps. It was a simple scene, a very familiar one that instantly whisks me several years back in time. This is the same park where I brought a cardboard box monstrosity to play dolls with my daughter. The same park where we used to come after school to play with friends. The same park where I pushed one or more of my children on the zip line and swings for hours and hours on end, filling the vast expanses of space and time that exist when you're the parent of small children. But now this park isn't really any of that anymore, at least not for me. I've passed it down to other moms and dads who have toddlers and preschoolers clinging to their persons every minute of the day. I still bring my kids to the park occasionally, but our visits are much less frequent. On this day, I was alone, as I often am now, between the hours of 8 and 2 on weekdays. I brought a box with me, but instead of a makeshift doll castle, this box was filled with books my children now find to be much less interesting than YouTube. I deposited the books in the little free library at the park and went about my day. Of course, what going about my day means now is a bit of an open question at the moment. The kids are in school, and my writing work has been slow. When the kids are home, they typically entertain themselves or play with friends, and only require my services for snack and dinner preparation and homework support. I've slid seamlessly into a faceless, mid-level management role in the household, a role that requires me to complete a daily litany of routine tasks, but involves much less interpersonal interaction and snuggling than it did in years past. With the way things are going, it's easy to feel like I am being slowly but inexorably replaced on both the work and domestic fronts. The steady ascent of technology and artificial intelligence is almost certain to make many jobs, and possibly my job of writing advertisements, obsolete sooner rather than later. The chatbot you've probably heard about by now can already write simple ads as well as, if not better than, I can. In fact, it can do a lot more than write simple things. For example, I asked it to write a rap in the voice of Andrew B. Knott, and it totally nailed it. When all my work is usurped by the bot, I am planning to rebrand myself to Little Naughty. Shout out to my friend Matt for this fire stage name, and perform nothing but chatbot written raps and an open mic near you. I'm sure it will be lucrative until the chatbot learns how to take corporeal form and rap itself. It probably already has. I'm not going to check. At home, it's some comfort that I am not being replaced by anyone or anything, but rather I am being crowded out by the passage of time. Kids grow up, parents grow old, and we all have to find ways to fill the spaces that are left behind. The crevices in our minds where the little bodies clutching well-worn teddy bears still live. As much as you try to fill them with iced coffee, boy genius music, and daydreaming about writing a novel that will emotionally wreck readers like Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow Wrecked You, those stubborn spaces are hard to fill with anything other than nostalgia. Perhaps I should consult the AI chatbot for guidance. Nah, it surely won't have anything useful to say. Question to chatbot. What's the best way to fill the space that is left behind as your children begin to grow up and away? The best way to fill the space left behind as children grow up and away is to focus on personal growth, develop new hobbies or interests, strengthen relationships with friends and family, volunteer in your community, or pursue a new career or educational opportunity. It's also important to maintain a positive outlook and embrace change as a natural part of life. Everyone's experience and journey is unique, so finding what works best for you may take some time, but it can lead to a fulfilling and satisfying life. Stupid, insightful bot. Well, crap. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, let me know and share it with your friends. Follow me at Chris Narrates on Twitter or Chris K. Kepler on Facebook, or check out my website, chriskepler.com.